All right, welcome everybody to the Tuesday Mastermind. Kyle here, and we are going to get things kicked off right away. I am excited to be bringing to you guys today, talking all about how to utilize social media, not only for agent attraction, but how to like a hack. The number one thing that I think has most impacted my social media, the ability to be able to attract agents through it. If I were only going to do one thing, this is what I would do to get the most attention. And that is what I'm doing right now, going live. So today, what I'm going to be talking all about is I've got a checklist of kind of what my kind of going live, mindset, is going into it, how I prepare for it, actually what I do during it. And so I've kind of built out a little checklist because I truly believe that, especially right now with the way social media is, there's just so much out there that your posts, your regular videos, your, pictures, your text, it really is not getting seen by the most amount of people. But going live, and I've actually tested this pretty extensively over the last, 3-4 months. And that's why I come to you guys live so much more frequently now, is because, everybody sees it, whenever you log into your Facebook account or social media, whatever you're watching it from, Instagram, YouTube. Whenever you go into your platform, the first thing it's going to show you is whenever somebody is live. And that is so powerful to be able to see that instantly on your feed. It's going to show to people that wouldn't normally see your posts just because you are live. And so I've, experimented in the past. I'll upload just like a regular video and look at how many views that it gets on Facebook versus when I go live, like right now going live here, how many views that I get from it. And you know what? Here, let me actually change this over here. I'm going to go live. There we go. Send it over to Team Disruptor here. So now we're going to go live on Team Disruptor. The thing is with live video, I guess what it is people like the engagement. They like that it's, real, it's raw, you're coming to them, and they know that it's, not like a produced thing, that you're truly engaging with your audience. You can ask questions, you can get people's feedback and comments in real time. And for some reason, that is just so powerful. Plus the algorithms and all the social media platforms push this type of content over anything else. And so, and it doesn't have to be hard as far as going live. I know maybe some people think that it's a little intimidating or they just don't know what to do. And honestly, I was there myself, not even maybe 6 months ago, 9 months ago, I hardly ever went live. I really didn't want to, to do it until I started seeing the benefits of what it could do when you, go that route. And so, basically what I had to tell myself was the reason I didn't like going live was because I didn't know what to say. Most of the time, and I think we've all been there. We go live and, you're out there, at an event or something, and like you go live, you hit the live button and then you're like, well, what do I say now? Or, it's just, and that was what I felt the whole time. And I guess what it took was me being more prepared for a live video. Just because it's live doesn't mean that it's like, can be just, whatever you want. You can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, for it to be effective, I feel that being prepared and combining that with going live is kind of a match made in heaven, so to speak, for social media. And so I'm going to talk about the different platforms, and I stream live obviously to YouTube. I stream live to Facebook as well. And I'll talk about kind of the differences between the different platforms. And I even got a little nugget in here that I'm going to share with you guys about a platform that is just starting out with live that, I don't even think anybody's doing it yet. And I think a lot of us, especially with agent attraction, need to be on this platform doing live. And so I'm going to start experimenting with it as soon as I get my approval on it. And I'm going to share with you guys a little bit today about what that platform is. So that being said, let me jump into my notes real quick. I'm going to look here. All right. So we talked about the power of live video. The other cool thing about live video that I've noticed is people will hang out longer. They'll watch more of your content when it's live versus when it's recorded. I don't know why that is, but for some reason, maybe it's the engagement. Maybe somebody thinks something's going to happen, crazy in the background all of a sudden, and I can't edit it out. And so they just stick around, right? Like, for whatever reason, I've noticed the watch time on my live videos is much, much longer, almost double or triple that of my regular, just regularly, edited videos that I put out there. So it's pretty interesting about that. I think, as far as the format goes, as far as a live video goes, I know a lot of people, they're used to just live videos like, hey, I'm at my son's soccer game and they're, doing the live thing of their, son's soccer game. And hey, that's great if that's what you want to share. Maybe it's your personal profile, but for business purposes, and that's what I'm talking about today, as far as doing live video for business purposes, I think there's definitely a format that, you should follow. And it starts with, in the beginning, you want to do a hook. And this is no different than what you would want to do if you were doing like an edited or a published video, but you always want to have some kind of a hook. And let me make sure here. I can't tell if we're live on Facebook or not. If we're not on Facebook, I'm sorry, guys. I know that we're good on YouTube. I'm actually watching it. I got my iPad right here. Shows that we're good on YouTube. But if we're having troubles, hopefully if you're on Facebook, you've switched over, you're now watching it on YouTube. But anyways, what I was going to say, as far as, going live, you want to have a format to it. So, you want to start with a hook, which is basically the first 15, 20, 30 seconds of the video. You want to share what you're going to be talking about in the rest of the video, right? Like, you don't want people just to like be hanging around and not knowing what they're going to be staying around for. So that's called the hook. You want to give them a hook in the first part. Then you want to also have a call to action. So right now, I'm actually going to give you my call to action. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, Agent Attractors, where you're watching this on right now on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. Also, I really would appreciate it if you leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this. If you like this format, I've actually changed it up today, so you can probably tell my background's a bit different. I'm using my my better camera, so just trying to bring the best content that I can to you guys. So if you're watching this, if you like it, hit the like button and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And but anyways, always going to be trying to improve this. But that being said, you want to give a clear call to action, and then typically you'll follow up that call to action at the very end of the video as well, right? So once you've given the hook, you've given the call to action, now you want to give value. So there's two kind of things that you really want to provide your audience on a live video for business purposes. One, you want to be able to provide value, and you want to provide that up front. The other one is engagement. You want to be able to engage with your audience. You want to respond to comments. You want to, read things. You want to acknowledge people, let them know you're seeing them, that, they're seeing you, you're seeing them. But you want to give that value first, right? So let them know you've given the hook, you've asked for something of them, then you provide the value, whatever that is. And this is where you have to prepare. You have to plan for it, right? Like, it doesn't take me a ton of time to plan or prepare for some things. Other things it takes me, a week to prepare for. It just depends, right? Not every single live video has to be, completely scripted out and planned out. I just usually come up with a few bullet points that I want to talk about. I research, and I look back into my statistics and what I've done. And then at that point, I come to the video and I just talk about it, right? So it might be an hour's worth of preparing. It might be, like I say, days or week worth of preparing. It just depends. And so, but that is the thing, is you do want to prepare and plan for this. Now, talking about the different platforms, right? Because I think it's pretty important to talk about this, is there's definitely best practices for each one. Twitter, which, if you're using like Periscope, that's what feeds out to Twitter. I'm not on that one. I don't know many people in my sphere that are on it. I know a lot of people do it, but the thing that I would say about Twitter is that it's very conversational. Twitter is almost like kind of like the water cooler of the internet, right? Like, everybody just goes there to talk with one another, to converse, to share ideas, to put their 2 cents in. And that's kind of what Twitter is for. And so when you're talking about going live, it's kind of that same thing. You're going to want to put more engagement involved on Periscope or on Twitter than you would maybe any other platform. It's more about, hey, I'm reading the comments live, I'm responding to them live, kind of this back and forth engagement with people on there. That's kind of what that platform is mostly about. Now, you can do the same video and share it live to all of them, but I'm telling you that there is a different framework, a different purpose for each one of these social media channels. And so it does behoove you to kind of format your video depending on which platform you're choosing to go live on. The other one, of course, is YouTube. This is the one that I'm most familiar with. This one's more of a value kind of a platform where you want to bring value. It's a search engine. So people are going to go to YouTube, they're going to search for content, they're going to come up with your stuff, whether it's edited and not live or whether it's live. Whenever you've created it, like this live video, whenever I'm done, it's going to be on the internet forever, right? For as long as YouTube's around. And, and so basically what you're looking for on YouTube is evergreen content. You want to find a problem, something that people are having questions about, right? Like they don't know the answer to it. It could be something, like I say, for eXp Realty, you could go live and maybe, explain how teams work, like what I did last week, right? Talk about, how the cap works, talk about how the Icon Agent program works, talk about how KV Core has changed your business, right? And then the cool thing about that is that it's a value platform. It's evergreen. So not only will people see your videos right away live, but they'll also see it over time. And the great thing, the one thing that I have noticed now that I've been going live consistently on YouTube for a while, is now that I'm doing them live on YouTube, is that they get this big push as far as views go right in the beginning. And that tells the YouTube algorithm that, hey, people are interested in this video, and then it pushes it out to other people that don't already know me. So that way, my content is getting attention by people that, wouldn't have normally come across my stuff. And I noticed that I can look into the analytics of the videos on YouTube, and it definitely shows a huge difference from whenever I've gone live now on YouTube, which I've only been doing that for maybe about 5-6 weeks now, versus whenever I used to just publish my videos and then try and promote them after the fact to get people to watch them. And that's just like I say, there's a big clear difference going live. My channel has spiked. I'm almost at 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And I think just a few weeks ago, I was at 400. Few weeks before that, I was at like 300. It has climbed so quickly now. Every 30 days, I'm adding about 100 subscribers, where it probably took me 6 months to get my first 100 subscribers, and that was me going out, posting it all over, social media, asking my friends, my family to, hey, subscribe to me. But now it's getting noticed. I'm actually looking at where my majority of my subscribers are coming from. And it's from the discovery feed, where basically it's, people that aren't already engaged with me, that my stuff comes up on their feed, and then, they choose to click the video, and now they like it, they subscribe, and they can see future content. And so that is something that I'm telling you, live video, no matter what the platform is, it is definitely the way to go to get noticed. And then lastly, is Facebook and Instagram. So I think this is more of the ones most people are familiar with. You just are going live because maybe you're at an event, you want to share a particular moment with people. And I definitely think that can be important, especially, just for, sharing your story with people, letting people know you're a real person. But the thing is that I see the mistake so often is you'll go live for like a couple minutes or something like that, and it's not long enough. On Facebook, you should really target about 20 minutes or so if you can, because the thing is that power of that live, it takes people to like see it and then click on it and go into it. And if you're only in there for a few minutes, then it's ending by the time people are really starting to see it, when it's really getting that traction. And so the cool thing about Facebook and Instagram is that you can save them to your stories, so people will notice it not only in their feed, but you can also go live in your stories. And so when you go live in your stories, people see it in 2 different places, and depending on where they want to watch it at, they can click on it. They'll either see it in their timeline or they'll see it at the top on their stories. And I'm telling you, when you go live on Facebook, people see it. That's definitely no question there. People will see your live stream on social media. Instagram's the same thing, but same thing there. You want to still do value. I find like that's why I stream this not only just to YouTube, but also to Facebook, is you want to still provide value for people. But I would say there's more of a focus on engagement on like Facebook and Instagram than it is purely value on YouTube. But that being said, you still want to make sure that it's not just all engagement. You have something to provide of value to people. Now, the thing with Facebook and Instagram, and that's the whole reason why I think going longer on those platforms is so important, because those videos don't live on forever, right? Like they're on somebody's feed, and then in a day or 2 days, maybe 2 days, they'll still be seen. But usually, 6 months down the road, nobody's going to ever find that video again. So you want to get the most value as you can right at the time that you're going live with it. And the only way to do that is to go 20 minutes or longer, in my opinion, on those platforms. YouTube, again, I mean, it's great. The longer you can go, the better. If you can do 20 minutes, perfect. You can go longer than that, even go 45 minutes, an hour. That's how long these usually are. But 20 minutes from all my research is kind of what I've found to be the optimal time that people shoot for YouTube videos. So anyways, now the platform that I want to share with you guys, that if you don't know about this yet, that you definitely need to look into this. You have to apply for it right now. It's not like open to everybody, but there is an application process where you can just fill out a quick form and apply to go live, to be able to be like one of their beta testers for their live, and that is LinkedIn. So for us as agent attractors, for us, looking to talk and network with like-minded business individuals, LinkedIn is an amazing platform, and it is becoming more and more widely used now. LinkedIn, it used to just be completely business, strictly business. You'll see if you're following anything about LinkedIn, it is turning more into a social media platform for business-minded individuals, right? So it's almost taking the best of both worlds. What we know works as far as, the social media aspect and the engagement around kind of just, this kind of networking and knowing, other people, but then combining it with business and really having that bend on it. And now being able to go live on that platform is going to be a game changer. And it's also not something that's open to everybody. So right now, if you apply and you get accepted and you go live, I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot of engagement right off the get-go from that. So I put in my application just the other day. I'm still waiting to hear back. But as soon as that goes and gets approved, I'm certainly going to start going live there. And again, same thing. I think for there, it's, you want to provide value. You want to have it to be a business kind of a bend to it. But that's going to be a huge, huge opportunity, I think, for a lot of us as agent attractors, especially if you've already connected with so many people. Like I know I've got, 5,000 plus connections on there. And so, being able to be seen by all of those people is a no-brainer. So now there's obviously not all 5,000 of those people using the platform, like, Facebook and Instagram. A lot more users are on those platforms. But if you have a big audience, I guarantee you there is a percentage that is using it, and they will see your live video once you apply and you get approved for that. So all right, cool. If you want to get the application, I'll go ahead and put the link into my description once I'm done with the video. But if you want to go to it right now, you just can Google live video broadcasting LinkedIn, and it's going to be like the first link up top there. All right, so now let's talk about actually my checklist of Facebook Live and what I look for Facebook Live. And actually, let me just make sure too, I'm going to check the comments here, make sure everybody's able to see this here. Yeah, so that's not there. All right, perfect. Yeah, we got about 15 people. Perfect on YouTube. Thanks everybody for checking it out. Make sure, again, give us a thumbs up, put a comment, let me know what you think down below. And as far as this new format here, where I've got my setup, I'm still kind of tweaking some stuff. I got to change the background there. Got some paint, like I don't know how to point down that way, that is a little scuffed up. So I'm gonna repaint this whole office here pretty soon. But anyways, using what I got, right? So, all right, so let's talk about going live on Facebook. So first off, before you ever even go live, I think, what you need to think about is, what is your goal, right? Like, what's your main goal of all of this? Like, what do you want to do? Who do you want to reach? And what type of value do you want to bring to people, right? Because again, everybody's got niches within what we do, right? Like, it's not just about recruiting agents. Like, there's something that that you bring to the table that, even if it's not necessarily real estate related, let's say it's financial advice, right? And that's something that you just have a passion for, you enjoy it, go live with that, bring value to that. And because you're connected to real estate agents, I'm sure there's a group of real estate agents that are the same kind of, passion for that as you do, or, whatever it might be, right? Maybe it's cooking. You like cooking and you just want to, do live videos, talk about cooking or recipes or whatever it could be, right? And go live and bring value for what makes you comfortable and create kind of that niche within your niche, right? Like, maybe you're the cooking realtor, who knows, right? Like, whatever it is, maybe you're the tech realtor and you want to just talk about tech all day. There's all sorts of ways that you can provide value to people. And so think about that, of what your goal is. And then when you go live, make sure that you actually have what your goal of that particular video is that you're going to go live for, right? So like, I could tell you, my goal here is to let everybody know how powerful, going live is and how to do it. That's what I want to accomplish on this video. Have a relevant place to use your call to action, right? So it's the same thing here, right? Like, my call to action, what I hope that people do from this is that they're getting enough value from these videos that they subscribe. I'm really just building my audience right now. That's all that I'm looking to do. I'm not trying to sell any products. I don't have any courses or, blueprints or books or anything like that to sell to people. Literally, I just want to grow my audience, provide as much value as I can. Once you've built an audience, at that point, then we can talk about, other ways that you can monetize it and do things like that. But right now, my only call to action is simply, hey, if you like this, subscribe to my channel, help me promote my own channel, share it with your friends, comment on the video, like the video. That's really all that I ask for right now. Like, that's all my call to action is. Yours may be different, but just at least have a clear idea before you get into the live video what your call to action is. All right. Map out what you're going to talk about. So you can see here, these are my notes. You can't really see them very well, but anyways, that is me mapping out my my video, right? Like, I know exactly what points that I want to make. It's not scripted, right? But I've at least got bullet points and can go from there. Have good lighting and audio. So all I'm using a little ring light right now. Got my DSLR camera. I've got, this microphone, Shure microphone, but honestly, you can go and do lives with a iPhone, right? Or, something. Just what I would say, if you're doing that, try and figure out a way that you can get good audio into your iPhone, which sometimes, if you're just, that's all you got is your iPhone, hey, you got to do it with what you got. But there's some cheap microphones that you can hook into your iPhone, and that will step the game up quite a bit. It's actually, like, if you look at, I've got this one here underneath my deal, and this plugs into a iPhone camera right there. So I think I bought that for like $25. So if you're, using an iPhone, have something that you can plug into the iPhone, put it on a tripod, so that way the video is not shaky the whole time, get some good lighting, whether it's, if you're doing it near a window can actually provide really good lighting. Today, it's a little overcast behind me, so there's not a whole lot of light coming through. So that's why I'm using this here. But if you, got a clear day, it's, lots of light out, just make sure that, the light is on your face and it's not like in this situation where it's behind you. And use what you got, right? Go live with that. That's definitely a worthy thing. Like, it's not saying like you have to have a DSLR camera in order to go live. Feel free to use an iPhone. That's, I'm sure, what most people will probably do. All right. Promote your live. I sent a email out. I don't know if you guys got the email. Maybe you're watching it because you got that email. But if you're on my email list already, then you probably received an email this morning that said, hey, I'm going live in 30 minutes. You want to promote your lives before they happen, right? So give people a heads up that, hey, tomorrow I'm going live. 30 minutes, I'm going live. Let them know, don't pester them and, tell them every single, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, just, one email beforehand. Put something on social media and promote your own live stream. And then when it's done, you're going to want to promote the recording of it, right? Like that's kind of what I've realized, is that creating the content is about 20% of usually my efforts when it comes to content creation. 80% of it is the promotion of it before and afterwards, right? So 20% is the actual, like this me on video. The majority of it is all the prep work and all of the post work, promoting the video and preparing for the video. All right, let's see. You can try broadcasting at different times. Of course, mine's the same time every single morning. That I've just found works with my schedule. But when you're testing it to see what you get the most engagement on, like maybe Thursdays works better than Tuesdays. Maybe, nighttime works better than the morning time. And you might want to experiment with different times that you can go live. All right, so let's see here. So that was everything before. Let me talk about during Facebook Live and what you want to do. All right. So you want to tell people what they're going to get and get to it. Don't just let this thing drag on for, minutes and minutes, in the beginning, because people will drop off. You want to get to the meat and potatoes, start the video as quickly as you can, because again, once you're done, this becomes a recording and people can watch it back later, right? They can fast forward and do all that kind of stuff. But when they're live and in the moment, nobody wants to just watch me, sitting here looking at my watch or, playing with my phone. So be prepared, be ready to just go and go. All right. Introduce yourself and what your specialty is, right? Like, let people know, hey, my name is Kyle Handy. I'm a real estate agent. Tell people in the beginning of your video, because again, the great thing with live is you're going to get noticed by people that don't already know you. That's the whole goal of this. And so when you're doing that, you want to make sure that you invite people. It'd be like, meeting somebody at a party and like not even introducing yourself and just like starting to talk to them about random stuff. People be like, who is this person? So make sure that you introduce yourself, let people know, what it is that you do, and then go ahead and get started. Tell people to share and tag their friends in the comments. So I think I've hit that one quite a bit of times. I didn't say to share it with your friends in the comments, but if you're so inclined, please feel free to share with your friends in the comments. Share your live for more exposure. I've done that. You want to acknowledge your viewers. Again, that's where I talk about like saying, hey, really appreciate you guys for jumping in onto this. It's a dialogue. You want people to feel like you're talking to them, maybe not directly, but like you're aware that people are watching you doing this. So encourage conversation. That's where you want to ask for people to, share things in the comments, ask questions. You're going to be able to answer it. Bank on 20 minutes or more for your live. I already talked about that. So share stories or experiences, right? So that's where I talk about, using examples from my life, like what I'm focused on, to just give ideas out to people, how it relates to them. Again, this is like, you want people to feel like you're talking to them, and you do that by sharing stories, not just going through the facts all the time. So make sure you have some stories to share. Have a call to action, ask someone to share the link in the comments. Again, talked about that. Acknowledge your replay viewers. So like letting people know, hey, you maybe you missed the live, right? But you're watching this on a replay. Really appreciate it. Definitely, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'll get back to your comments. Even if this isn't live, when you're making the comments, I do reread my comments on my videos and I respond to them. So, if you're watching this back weeks later, still feel free to comment and I'll be happy to respond. I get most of my ideas from comments and from people that send questions to me, ask me, hey, what do you do here? What do you do here? And I'm like, oh, well, do I already have a video on that? If I do, I send it to them. If I don't, I make a video on it. That's pretty much what I do, right? All right, let's see. Tell people to go like your Facebook page, entertain people just as much as you're educating them. We talked about that. If you're funny, then, be funny, right? Like that's, for me, I don't know. Like, I guess I don't feel like I'm too funny. I'm pretty directed to the point, but maybe that's, everybody's got their own style. Hopefully people that are watching this, that are getting value out of it, like that, but be you, right? Like be who you are. Don't be somebody you're not. If you're funny, don't be afraid to, bring that into the video. Don't be afraid to shake things up and make things interesting. That's, all your creativity, all your style. That's why people really come in to watch this every single day. So, all right, let's see. After your Facebook Live. All right, so I got a short video or short checklist on this one. Edit your video, which is optional. Most of my times I just leave these how they are. All right. I might trim off the front little, minutes where it's showing the countdown for, until it's ready, but that's pretty much all that I do. And then on YouTube, I add some end screens, which is like, just showing like what video the people should watch next. And that's really it. I don't like go in and actually like edit out everything. I just leave it kind of the way it is. Check your stats, see like, do people like what you're talking about? Are they staying, longer for each video progressively, right? Like hopefully your stats increase over the time that you're doing it. I've looked at my stats and yes, every single week, these live videos get more and more views, they get more and more engagement. And so that's encouraging me. That's like letting me know you're on the right path, right? You're no Peter McKinnon. I don't have, 4 million subscribers on YouTube, but you are, starting to grow, which is encouraging. It's what keeps me going doing this. And so definitely look at your stats. Don't obsess about them though. Again, I just kind of look to make sure that they're increasing, and that's really it. Because at this point, until you have like 100 videos or more, it's going to be really hard to figure out like what's really good and what's not good yet. You don't have a whole lot to base it off of. So, and you can't really base it off of other people's success. I've started to realize that. I used to say like, oh, I want to be like this. And, my channel should grow that fast, but it's not like that. I've kind of realized you just got to do your thing, look into the stats, early on and, get just kind of some encouragement that you're doing the right thing, but then don't obsess about them. But then over time, once you start to get more familiar, you've, made a lot of videos at this point, you can start to use your statistics to kind of really see like, well, this one that I did, 4 weeks ago, that one did really good. What did I do differently on that one, and kind of improve that way. All right. Post any link in the comments that you've mentioned in the live. So yeah, that's again, like for the YouTube link, if I said, hey, I'm going to, share this link with you guys, make sure that you share that link afterwards with people, right? Don't leave them hanging. Embed your live on the blog website for more content. So that's again, if you're doing all this stuff on social media and you're providing a ton of value for people on social media, I really, really feel that you need to have a blog at least. So whatever that stuff is that you're spending this time on to create can live on, right? Because on Facebook, they die. Like those videos, they die. And most people don't see them, long term. They don't see them organically through search. But if you create a blog and say, let's, because you can record the live video as well. You don't just, it'll give you an option when you're done, do you want to save this video? And you can say yes, save it, and then upload it as a video on your blog. So that way, again, you can, write a description, but then down the road, people will be able to find it. So all that work that you did was not wasted. And if you don't know how to create a blog, I can definitely share with you some tips and tricks and all that. Put in the comments if you already have a blog. And if you don't, if you think that that would be helpful to you, let me know, because that is something that I've been asked a couple times now. If you think that would be helpful on how I set up my blog and what I use to be able to manage it, I'd be happy to share that with you guys. And then lastly, consider boosting the video with an ad. Now, if it's purely EXP agent attraction, we all know that you cannot advertise for that. But if it's, again, like whatever your niche is, maybe you're just providing value for real estate agents in the tech sphere or whatever sphere you want to provide value, you can boost that as much as you want, right? And start to get exposure and get noticed from it. And truly, that is a great opportunity for you to get seen by people that wouldn't normally see you. I've built what I've been building currently all organically. I haven't ventured into the ad spend yet. Just because, again, I was so heavy into it, and then they shut down the ads for agent attraction, and then I just kind of lost my traction from all of that, and I haven't really ventured to jump back into it. But eventually, I do know that that is kind of that igniter to be able to grow a lot faster if you've got the budget to do it. If you don't have the budget to do it, or you don't want to spend ads, or do ads, you want to grow organically, then by all means, you definitely can do it. You just got to provide really good content and just be consistent about it. So anyways, that's pretty much it. The other thing I would say too, this wasn't on there, this is on my other list, but is to be consistent with your live streams. These streams, when you just go live willy-nilly all throughout the week, it's hard to gain traction. I'm not saying don't do it. You definitely can do those, but do a consistent one as well. Provide that value consistently, because people will start to pick up on the times. You don't know how many people messaged me when I changed from going from Zoom to YouTube, because they were so used to going to the other way that they had to like learn something new of how to how to do the new thing, right? Like go to YouTube and see the live video. And, now at this point, so, it really made me realize that I'm creating this cadence for people, right? And so then people jump on board. Then the next week, more people jump on board. Then the next week. And so that consistent effort, not only just being consistent in posting videos weekly, but the consistent time aspect of it as well, is something that I think is a really good thing to do for a live video especially. So anyways, guys, that's all that I got for you today as far as live goes. If you got any more questions about how to do a live, maybe you're already doing live, but you're not having success that you wanted, or just whatever kind of questions you've got, make sure to put them in the comments, guys, and I will be right on those comments. I'll be making sure that I respond to them as quickly as possible. So that being said, I'm going to call it today. I hope everyone has a wonderful Tuesday. Don't forget tonight, TuesdayExecutiveOverview.com, 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. We are going to be doing the demo again for eXp Realty. So if you have any guests that you want to see the actual back office of eXp, you want to see, the world, you want them to see everything, KV Core, SkySlope, the training, the world, everything, then make sure they get on to the call tonight at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time. Invite. I usually have to invite about 10 people to get one to show up, right? So don't just think, oh, if I invite 3 people today, like I did my job. Go out there, invite as many people as you can. Just let them know, hey, one of my friends here at eXp is doing a special presentation tonight where, he and his partner are going to talk all about the eXp Realty business model and then actually show how it works. Physically show it. They're going to share their screen. They're going to talk about it. It's all live. You can ask questions. We stick around afterwards. So at about 6 o'clock, we wrap up, but then we stay around and we answer questions for as long as it takes. So make sure that you're promoting it, TuesdayExecutiveOverview.com, and we'll see you there at 5 o'clock tonight. I hope everyone has a great week. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.